I need a third hand. There we go. I was talking yesterday about how I like to get back to talking about more metaphysical sort of stuff, which is the point of why I do this. But topics keep popping up that grab my attention, sort of end times, physical kind of stuff. And this thing, this chemical detonation or accident in Palestine, in the United States. I mean, that should, anyone that knows what they're looking at should be able to read what this means. So once again, it's time to talk about the JQ. It's tough to do here. I know. So I gotta be careful about it. And as always, it's not all the people, of course. I mean, that's just crazy to think. It's a group within the group that works with the globalists to try to create these situations that bring us to the sort of end times that we're sailing into. Now, the thing about them is they can't help themselves, and I think that's why they chose this target that they did. But the danger, I guess, could be serious. This anon here is talking about how that chemical cloud is going to spread. I don't know anything about that. I'm not like a EPA guy or anything. I guess I can see how it's possible, and I don't think they'd go through all the trouble of doing all this and then picking that Palestine target to then just have it be a nothing burger. I think there's something here, whether or not it's extreme as Anon here is saying, remains to be seen. But the problem again with the JQ is they've kind of always been doing this stuff to the people of the United States. USS Liberty, I don't know if I can name other things, but 7-Eleven was an inside job, or 3-11 was an inside job. You got to come original. So yeah, they've always, our greatest enemy, right, who refers themselves as our greatest ally, because inversion, satanic inversion, blah blah blah, it's also tiresome. So if you're like a smaller group, right, and you're fighting this really large, much physically and mentally stronger army just by numbers, right, a sneaky thing to do would be to make them think that you're an ally, of course, and that's what they've done over these years. So, and then on top of it, controlling all the media, they own all of it. So it's just they can constantly abuse you, and you really can't say or do anything about it. And most people don't even know. Most people have no idea that this fight has been going on. Just look at our, elected, air quotes, officials that have dual citizenship to that other country there, that other made-up country. The U.S. Here's the situation. It's like your worst enemy built a casino, right? Or we'll even go smaller. One of those cowboy saloons. They built a saloon. They call it the United States of America. And they built it up. They built it up. They built it up. The whole time, the people in the saloon who come there, they're robbing the whole time. Until it gets to a point where the people in that town have nothing more to take. Then what they do is they start a bar fight. And while this is going on, they slip out the back. That's what is going on now. They're starting they're starting the bar fight here. They've been gambling all night, stealing everybody's money, and now if there's nothing left to take, they're going to cause chaos while they slip out the back door. That's kind of what's going on. This country has kind of outused its usefulness for them. All it ever really was like, it was a resource laundering place in the United States. I mean, they put this place together with the Freemasons and their other secret societies. I think it had something to do with the fact that everywhere they tried to establish, I forget what the word is called, but tried to establish a saloon, they're kicked out because people, discovered the saloon. I know they've been booted from 109 countries as of right now, historically. So by building the saloon called the United States of America, it's like, well, we can't get kicked out of our own place. We can't let the people know it's our place, obviously. So if we control all forms of communication, news, keep them in the dark, and on top of it, make them look like they're the bad aggressor and that we're the victims. They're stabbing you. They're stabbing you and saying, why do you persecute me? Why do you persecute me? So they've been destroying the food supply for a while now. This has been going on for a few years. I've been pointing this out to people and just getting a lot of blank stares and like, okay, all right. Hey, is Moana Surf Rider open? That's what you get, because no one knows. No one knows what the fuck's going on, and it's tough. People don't care to the point that it's led me into that the system tools theory, which I apologize to those who've heard this a million times, but basically I just couldn't conceive that people could be so absent in the mind and the soul, and just would it's almost like you can't reach them no matter what you do. And there's been things through the years where it's been alluded to that this could indeed be the case religiously, like through holy books, holy texts, what the scientific world calls the holy stuff. I think that's what the word for it is. And then you have that Da Vinci quote that just keeps coming up in my mind. I don't know if Da Vinci was a real guy. How these things work, who the fuck knows? But some will see. Some will see when shown, and some will not see. The thing about not being able to see, I feel like it's because they can't see. They can't be shown. They will not understand. It's not possible for them to do so, because they're not like a lot of us. You still have to treat them the same, the way you'd want to be treated, all that stuff, because this is a behavioral test. Like, if there's any kind of test that still remains, it's based on behavior. It kind of always was. Let me get just out of this area here. It's Super Bowl Sunday, so all the robots are excited. All the robots get really excited about this kind of shit. But let's get back to the JQ thing. I don't know if we're going to go into the whole system tools theory. I'll get into that some other time. But basically, yeah, some people are just not going to understand. They're not going to see. It's a waste of time to try to get them to. So yeah, the situation is they're destroying the food supply. They're destroying the food supply. And because they want to have, more control. They want to be able to starve everybody out, so that you have to get chipped, you have to do this, you have to do that. We got plenty of food at the FEMA camp. Come on down. Joke's on them now. I've been fasting like crazy. I'm almost at the point where I don't need food anymore. Just sunlight, sunlight and water. But you know, they'll take the water too. They don't leave anything to chance. They'll figure out everything. You know what I mean? They'll always have something that they do. You know, to try to keep you under their sway. You know. So yeah, they hit this specific place because it's called Palestine. Palestine is their long-suffering neighbors who were there before and had their land taken from them and treated in a way that they describe themselves being treated allegedly in Germany many years earlier. They describe what they describe is what they're doing to the Palestinians. And it's funny because I didn't even realize there was like a Palestine in the middle of the country. Like, you know, if you were to read the mustard gas Palestine thing, you're like, oh yeah, that's average. They do that to those people all the time. They're always trying to kill them, right? And then you see that it's in America, and it's kind of crazy. So I mean that target was chosen specifically. Let me get under this thing here. That target was chosen specifically, obviously. And that's why I think there's probably more to it. But the problem is with the JQ is you can't discuss it. So you can't really talk about any of this stuff. Your greatest enemy and the biggest danger to you, your life, your family, your people, is waging a war on you that you can't mention. You know, or else you just get silenced. You're in big trouble. So it's tough. It's tough, but I think I don't know what the answer is, because I think at this point people need to talk about it. Except that if you do talk about it, you'll be silenced from anywhere you can talk about it. Even to the point, like, if you even get a fucking stand on a street corner with a sign, once they figure out who you're talking about, you'll be moved along. You just can't talk about it. You know, pretty sneaky. War through deception. That's what the Mossad's tagline is for their movie. War through deception is coming this summer, and every summer, and every season, for decades and decades. And again, Mike, it's not all those people. You won't find a bigger Jew defender on YouTube than me. That's not like a gatekeeper or a controlled guy. You know, and I know that's, I guess, a weakness, right? Like, I'm not the guy that's gonna do what must be done at some point, you know. As much as I may seem that way when I talk about like how a lot of these robots aren't like us, I'm still not advocating for wiping out the robots. You gotta be nice to the robots, because, you know, I kind of feel bad for them. But then you realize, well, they don't have any empathy or sympathy or anything, so you kind of shouldn't. You're wasting your energy doing that. But yeah, I unfortunately, I'm the guy that is gonna just keep putting the Joker in jail. You know what I mean? And then he gets out and murders more people, and then I put him in jail because I can't think of a situation where you'd want to just completely wipe someone out or wipe a people. You can't do it. Now, unfortunately, that could be what has to happen, but that's why you have to have different kinds of people, because I'm not going to be the one to be able to do that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Sadly, it's not going to be me that does it. You know. It's a tough situation, you know. It's a hard situation to be in, and the thing is, like, a lot of people don't even know it's a situation that is happening. But I do wonder what's going to happen to those poor people down there. You know what I mean? They could, I don't know if it's going to get as bad as what Anon was saying here. But still, it's like, there's something to it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have went through all the trouble. of picking that spot, doing all this stuff. I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough. We got to find a way to be able to talk about it or discuss it. Haven't been able to yet. And maybe some things just have to happen, you know? Maybe some things have to happen. Oh well. I gotta talk about the space thing too. Everybody thinks it's the same kind of related problem. No one believes that they're under attack by another nation, but they're almost certain that we're under attack by fucking space aliens. This is what we gotta work with. Oh man. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.